Okay, so we done with this the first lesson, which is that we done with this company creation. We done with this chart of account, right? Now the next step is that we need to record journal entries in Tally ERP 9. Okay, that we need to record day-to-day journal entries in Tally ERP 9. So how to do it? Where we need to go? We need to go in the masters now or in the transaction. We need to record journal entries, right? So where we will go, in the masters or in transactions?
Release is transaction.
Transactions, right? Because we need to record an entry. We need to record vouchers now. And in transactions, where you will go? Accounting transaction or inventory transactions? Accounting transaction. Right now we didn't enter any stock yet, right? So we are not doing anything related with inventory or stock right now. So it is related with accounting vouchers, right? Press enter. So when you press when you go in the accounting vouchers, if you look on this right side, we have different options there. This is F4. That is a contra voucher, right? This is F4, which is your contra voucher, right? So what are the entries you need to record here? All those transactions or all those entries in which debit or credit side is your cash or petty cash, right? Is your cash or petty cash. The debit or the credit side is cash or petty cash or your bank accounts.
Okay.
For example, cash deposit in bank. So what is the journal entry? Bank account is debit and cash is credit. Cash withdraw from the bank. So cash is debit and bank account is credit.
Yeah.
Right? So three criteria, that the debit side or the credit side, that must be a cash account, a petty cash account, or maybe a bank account. Right? Transfer money from ADC bank into the Noor Islamic Bank. You are transferring the fund from one bank to another bank.
Yeah.
Right? So debit is the bank, credit is also the bank.
Yeah.
So that transaction will go where? In the contra voucher, F4. Right? Receive bank loan. Receive bank loan. What is the entry? Receive bank loan. Bank account is debit and loan account is credit. So that is not a contra, because in contra the debit and credit side should be a cash, petty cash or bank, but here the credit is bank loan. Clear or no? I said the debit and the credit side is cash, petty cash or bank, right? If you are recording a contra voucher, the debit or credit entry, the credit ledger, that is cash, petty cash or bank. Receive bank loan. So what is the entry? Debit is what?
Debit is cash.
Bank or cash, right?
Yeah.
And credit is bank loan.
Yeah.
So it will not meet the criteria, because I said that the debit or the credit side is cash, petty cash or bank. Only these three ledgers.
Okay.
But here we have bank loan account. So that is not a contract, that is our receipt voucher, which is F6. That is a receipt voucher which is F6. In the contra, you will enter only those transactions in which cash, petty cash or bank is involved. Cash withdraw from the bank, cash deposit in the bank, transfer from one bank to another bank, petty cash received from the bank account, right? So all such transaction will go under contra. Clear?
Yeah.
That is F4. Okay. The next one. After F4, the next one is the payment. The next one is payment, right? After the contra, the next one is F5. F5 is your payment voucher,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
After the contra, the next is F5, which is payment. So if you are doing a payment, you pay rent, you pay for that salaries, you pay for let's suppose for the insurance, you pay the electricity bill, payment F5. You are paying your supplier, your vendors, right? So where you need to record that entry F5, which is for the payments. Got it? Yes or no? Clear?
Clear.
Okay. So we're done with this contra. We're done with the F5 payment. Then we have receipt. Receipt is F6, right? If you are receiving the money, right? If you are receiving money from your customer, right? If you are receiving a bank loan, if you receive a capital, if you receive interest income, service income, right? That is under F6. Clear?
Everything received?
Not everything. Like if you like cash deposit in bank, that is in the contra. But whatever you are receiving, right? You are receiving money from your customer, you are receiving a bank loans, you are receiving interest income, that go under F6 contra. Oh, sorry, receipt.
Okay, received from the sale of fixed assets.
Yes, receipt.
Received.
Receipt. You are receiving the money, right? Clear?
A loan.
Bank loan. Yes, receipt.
So which receipt will not be part of it?
Which receipt? What? All the money which you receive. But if you're receiving like a petty cash from the bank account,
Contra.
that is contra, because debit and credit is bank and petty cash in bank. If you're receiving a bank loan, debit is bank, credit is bank loan, receipt. Clear? Right? Okay. After that, a receipt voucher. Next we have F7. Okay, F7, that is a journal voucher, right? That is a journal voucher. You need to record such those transaction like your adjustment entries, right? You need to you can record like fixed asset purchase on credit. If you like rectification entries are there in F7. You need to record your depreciation entry. You are not paying the depreciation to anyone, right? Depreciation expense account is debit and accumulated depreciation is credit. So that entry will go under F7. F7 is what? That is your journal voucher. Here, I'll give you a short example here that what you need to enter in F7. Let's suppose we are in, let's suppose your company, uh, your company, they need to pay the salary, right? But they are paying the salary every 5th of the next month, right? For example, you worked for your company in month of November, right? November 2019, you work for your company, right? So that salary expense, but you are getting your salary on 5th of next month, right? 5th of next month. Clear? Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that salary expense belongs to which month? November or December?
November.
November. But they are paying that salary
December.
in December. But expense belongs to which month?
December.
November.
It belongs to November.
Focus, right?
Yeah.
So we need to prepare a monthly profit loss statement account. So you as a accountant, if you don't mention that salary expense in the month of November, so do you think your profit loss statement account is right or wrong? It's correct or wrong?
It will be correct.
It's correct.
It will be correct if you don't mention it.
It is not correct then, right? Because you have to mention that expense, because that expense belongs to the month of November. So what you will do on 30th of November as an accountant, you will pass this entry that salary expense is debit, right? Salary expense is debit and credit is what? Salary, let's suppose salaries payable, that is credit, right? So this entry will be passed. Please focus. This entry will be passed, right? So, are you paying the salary here? Are we paying the salary? No.
No.
We are increasing, we recorded our expense and we are increasing the liability. This will go in our profit loss statement account as an expense. So expense is recorded for the month of December, and this will go in our balance sheet in the liabilities, that our liability is also increasing, that we need to pay the salary, right? Clear? So our profit loss statement account will be accurate, correct, and this entry you need to record through F7, through journal in Tally, where you're not paying anything, you're not receiving anything. So when you actually on next month 5th is December, when you pay the salary, when you paid the salary, what is the entry now? That is salary payable is debit, right? And credit is, let's suppose, the bank account. Clear? Right? So this entry you need to record from where? Now you are paying the salary. You are paying, you're doing payment, right? So that is through F5, payment. That is our payment voucher, F5, because now you are doing the payment. Clear? Okay? So that is the scenario. Okay, this first entry, that is through F7, in which you are not paying anything, right? That is through F7 here. And when you pay the salary, then you need to go here in F5, the payment. Clear? Any question? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Then after F7, this is your sales voucher, right? That is your sale invoice basically. Let's suppose you are going to sell 10 laptops to carry forward, right? You are going to sell 10 laptops to this institute, so you need to give them a sale invoice.
Okay.
So that is our F8. F8 is sales, right?
Yeah.
So after F8, next is what? Credit note. F8 with double underline.
Okay.
Right? If F8 is sales, then F8 double underline, that is your sales return. Right? Credit note. But that feature is not activated right now. So if you need to activate the feature of this credit note, you need to click on this feature here. Right? If I click here on the feature, and here we have this option, use debit note and credit note, right? So you want to use that purchase return and sales return. Default these options are no, so you need to make these options yes if you want to enable the debit or credit notes, and control A to save it. So now look, now this that sale is activated, F8 is sales, and if you need to record a credit note, the credit note is also, this feature is also activated now. Clear?
Yeah.
Similarly, we have this F9 is purchase. If you are purchasing anything, right? So if I purchase, let's suppose, 5 mobiles, right, from Carry Ford, so I need to record, I need to get an invoice. So that is my purchase invoice. So I need to record here. So similarly, if F9 is purchase, so F9 double underline, that is our purchases return. Clear?
Yeah.
Any question? So right now we need to do the journal entries, right? We need to record these journal entries. Okay, so we're gonna do these most common, that the vouchers, which is F4, which is a contra, where we need to record all the transaction in which cash, petty cash, and bank is involved. Then we have payment voucher. Then we have receipts. If you're receiving the money, payment is when you're doing the payments. Journal mostly for adjustment entries, for depreciations, right? Then F8 is sales. Then F8 a double underline credit note, that is a sales return. F9 is your purchase invoice, and F9 double underline, that is your purchases return. Clear? Okay.
Okay.
Now one more thing. This is also very important. Now look here. Right now, when you create a new company, by default that single entry mode is enabled, but I want to use double entry, right? So what you need to do, we need to go here in this F12, which is configurations. We need to configure that option, right? So if you press F12, you're using the keyboard,
Should I press it?
right? So here, if you look, the second option is what? Use single entry mode. I don't want to use a single entry. I want to use double entry, right? So you use single entry? No, I want to use double entry. So press N for no. Enter. Come on, you please focus.
Okay, it was at the wrong page.
Yes, so focus, please. This one is no. N.
Okay.
Now focus. Look here. This is what? Use credit and debit. You want to use debit or credit symbols, or you want to use to and by? For me, it is more easy to use debit or credit symbols, right? So default, these options are also, that option is no. Debit and credit option is no, right?
Yeah.
So you need to make that option yes, because I want to use debit and credits.
Okay.
So make that option yes, enter and control A. So then it will come like this. Control A to save it. Control A. Come on, control A. Your control A. Clear? Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now look, I'm gonna record 2-3 entries. The first entry is worth Mr. John invested 200,000 dirham as the capital. So what is the journal entry? What is debit and what is credit?
Capital is credited and cash is debited.
Debited, right? So this entry, where this entry will fall, where you need to record this entry, it is a contra, it is a payment, it is receipt, it is F7, F8, F9, or what?
Cash and it is received.
Receipts, right? Because that is not a contra.
Yeah.
So we need to go in the receipt, right? So look, credit comes first here. So credit is what? Capital. So you need to select here capital, but right now in my ledger, capital is not there. The ledger is not there. So what you want to do, you will go back to go in account info, create the ledgers, right? Yes?
Yes.
But easiest way is, if something is missing, right? Look, right now I don't have the capital ledger. So I don't want to go back to account info and create the ledger from there. So we have a short key which is Alt C.
Alt C.
Yes, look, if I press Alt C, it will bring us to that ledger creation window directly, right? Look there. So name of the account is capital account, right? Enter, and that is under the capital. Enter and Control A to save. So credit is capital account, amount is 200,000. Enter, and now debit side, right? Enter, debit is what? Cash in hand. Enter, enter. You can write here the description. Yeah, sorry. Enter, enter and save it. Here, similarly, next entry is what? Cash deposit in Noor Islamic Bank. AED 50,000. So what is the entry?
Bank and cash. Bank debited.
And cash credit, right? So where it will go? F4, F5, F6, F7, F8 or F9? Where this entry will go? Cash deposit in Noor Islamic Bank. So Noor Islamic Bank is debit and cash is credit. Where it will go?
It's payment.
Why? It's a contra. Debit and credit is cash in bank. It is come under the contra, right? So credit
Yes,
is
contra.
cash. Enter. Amount is 50,000. Enter, and debit is Noor Islamic Bank 50,000, right? And that is a check information, right? What is the bank account detail, right? So cash deposit in Noor Islamic Bank, right? Enter, save it. Clear? Okay. Next, same cash deposit in Emirates Islamic Bank. Same contra. So cash deposit how much? 100,000. So cash account, enter 100,000 in Emirates Islamic. So we don't have Emirates Islamic here. So what is the short key? Alt C. So Emirates Islamic Bank, and that comes under bank account, right? Enter, enter, and that is that the check information. So cash deposited in Emirates Islamic Bank. Enter, enter. Next is what? Telephone bill.
Electricity.
Telephone bill 750, electricity bill 2000, paid through Noor Islamic Bank. So where you will go? F4, F5, F6, F7, F8. That is contra, payment, receipt, journal, sales, or what?
Expenses.
That you are paying, right?
Yeah.
Paid through Noor Islamic Bank. So payment, F5, right? Okay, so you are paying first telephone bill and electricity bill.
Yeah.
So we need to check. We don't have that ledger. So Alt C, telephone expense account. Right. So how much? That is 750. Enter, and then you're paying electricity also.
Yeah.
So here look, we have the credit. So I can change. I will make it DR again, a debit entry. Enter, and electricity. So we don't have that electricity right now. So Alt C, and that is 2000. Enter, and we are paying through Noor Islamic Bank. Enter. So automatically the balance will come. Enter. We are paying 2000 750. That is instrument number, means the check number. That is the instrument date, the check date. Enter, and you can write here the description. Paid telephone and electricity bill for the month of January 2019. Enter, enter, save it. Clear? Any question? Yes or no? Okay, I'm gonna do one more entry. Let's suppose this one. Here we are receiving a bank loan. Bank loan received in Noor Islamic Bank.
Yeah.
So where it will go? F4, F5, F6, F7, F8. Receipts, right? So you are receiving a bank loan. Bank loan is a liability, and you're receiving in Noor Islamic Bank.
Yeah.
Amount is 150. So your liability is increasing.
And your
Bank is also increasing, right?
Yeah.
So F6. So we don't have that liability account, the bank loan account. So Alt C, bank loan, right? Under loans, not loans asset, under loans liability. Enter. So how much is it? 150. Enter, and you're receiving it Noor Islamic Bank. Enter, and that is that information. So bank loan received. Clear?
Yeah.
Now if I check my balance sheet, if you go back and if you check your balance sheet, enter, and if you click on this detail, right? So we have a bank loan under the liability, that we have a bank loan of 150. Clear?
Yeah.
Right? Now that is entry number 11. But here in the entry number 14, we are paying the bank loan back.
Okay.
50,000, let's suppose first installment we are paying, right? So that is a payment, because you are paying, right? You are paying 50,000 bank loan. Okay, so what is that entry now?
We credit the bank and we debit the loan.
Yes. So accounting voucher and F5 payment. So debit is what?
Debit is the bank.
Debit is bank or bank loan?
Yeah. Okay.
Bank loan, because liability is decreasing now. With an amount 50,000, enter, and you are paying it through Noor Islamic Bank. Enter, enter, and that is the check information, the date of the check. Enter, bank loan paid, let's say first installment. Enter, enter. Now, so what will be the bank loan amount now? 100,000.
Yeah.
Because it decreases, we paid 50,000 back. So if we go in the balance sheet, right, if we click on this detail, so it's showing here now 100,000. Clear? So
Yeah.
this is how you need to record a journal entries in Tally ERP 9. And if you want to check the reports, that how many transactions, how many entries you entered today, how many vouchers you entered yesterday, this week, this month. So you need to go in the display, right? In the display, we have this table, right? In the daybook, it will give you the list of all the transactions which you enter as of today. But again, remember, we have the criteria, F2 single criteria. And if you want to check a range for this month, for this week, from 1st January to 15th of January, right? So right now we enter these different transactions here. Yeah, but let's suppose if your boss, he wants to say that he wants to check only the payments voucher right now. Okay, he wants to check only the payment vouchers. So in that case, you need to click this change voucher. If you have an option, change voucher. So you will click here, and I want to check only the payment, so it will filter the report, right? Here I can see now only the payment vouchers. I cannot see the journal, I cannot see any other voucher here. Clear? Right? So this is how you can check the reports in Tally ERP 9 for all your journal entries, the transactions which you enter. Clear?